wanted to mention people, even Muslims, can be very cruel. So they may not acknowledge things that you do. Like people, being appreciated is really, really hard. And for some reason, for Muslims, it's really hard to appreciate others. Very easy to criticize though, but really hard to appreciate. It's kind of a thing we have, right? That's the only thing we have ijma' on, I think, in this ummah right now, right? Hard for us to appreciate, very easy for us to criticize, right? To find fault in another, etc. But just because you do efforts, like, you volunteered at a masjid or something, or helped out somewhere, and nobody thanked you, nobody acknowledged your efforts, nobody came up and, kind of appreciated you, and you feel like, well, I'm not wanted here, I'm never going to do this again. Well, that's just the thing. Maybe Allah surrounded you with unappreciative people to make sure that you are clear to yourself, you never do this so that you're acknowledged by people, even though it feels good. And even though that's not a bad thing, the Prophet ﷺ would acknowledge people all the time. It's a sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ to acknowledge people, the efforts they make. That doesn't mess up their intentions. Like, some of us have this we're more religious than Islam itself. So we have this thing, you shouldn't appreciate someone or praise somebody because it'll go to their head and their intentions are going to get messed up, or they're going to, and somebody says, mashallah, good job to you, and you're like, astaghfirullah, I only do this for Allah. No. Like, chill out, dude. The Prophet ﷺ would praise, for example, the zuhud. Abu Dharr Ghifari, he'd praise his zuhud, he'd praise his spirituality. Like, of all the things that if he's super spiritual, then you should be really uncomfortable that you're praising his spirituality. Like, no, I'm not a spiritual person, I'm a nobody. And he said, if anybody wants to see the spirituality of Jesus, they should look at him. That's what he said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, about him, right? So that's a remarkable thing to say. But the idea is acknowledging others is actually a sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. But on the other hand, if you're on the not so receiving end of it, you're doing stuff and it just never gets acknowledged. You do things for your family, it doesn't get acknowledged. You do things for your in-laws, it doesn't get acknowledged. You do things for friends and it doesn't get acknowledged. You did things for them all these years and none of it got acknowledged, as though you've done nothing for them. If that happens to you, doesn't matter, whatever you did, Allah will never let any of that go to waste. وَلَا كُفْرَانَ لِسَعِيهِ وَلَهُ جَزَاءً الْحُسْنَى وَحَيَاةٌ طَيِّبَةٌ. And such a person is going to have the most beautiful compensation that they can't even imagine. It's the superlative use, the most beautiful, and is going to be given a good life. May Allah grant us all a good life. وَالَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِاللَّهِ وَيَعْبُدُونَ الصَّالِحَاتِ وَقَلِيلٌ مَا هُمْ. Those who believe in Allah and do good things, do the few good things asked of them, and how few they are, لَا خَوْفٌ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا هُمْ يَحْزَنُونَ. They're not going to have fear hovering over them, nor are they going to be the ones riddled with grief. لَهُمُ الدَّرَجَاتُ الْعُلَى. They're going to have the highest of ranks. وَلَهُمْ أَجْرُهُمْ عِنْدَ رَبِّهِمْ. And they're going to have compensation that's their own, waiting for them with their master. وَلَهُمْ أَجْرٌ كَرِيمٌ عَظِيمٌ كَبِيرٌ غَيْرُ مَمْنُونَ. And they're going to have noble compensation, meaning they'll be dignified as they're being given compensation. They're going to have a grand compensation, a massive compensation, one that will never be discontinued, a reward and an acknowledgement that will never go away. وَلَهُمْ مَغْفِرَةٌ وَرِزْقٌ كَرِيمٌ. And they're going to have forgiveness, they're going to have dignified provision, meaning their housing, their clothing, their food, all of it is going to be like an award ceremony for them. وَرِزْقٌ كَرِيمٌ وَلَا يَسْتَخْلِفَنَّهُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ. And Allah will actually give them, He will establish them in the land, and He will leave them behind to take care of the earth. Allah describes in some places that at the end of it all, it's only يَرِثُهَا عِبَادِيَ الصَّالِحُونَ. The earth shall be inherited by my righteous slaves. So Allah will promise them eventual, victory in the land. وَيَزِيدُهُم مِّن فَضْلِهِ. And Allah will enhance them even from His own favor. وَسَيَجْعَلُ لَهُمُ الرَّحْمَنُ وُدًّا. One of my favorite benefits of being from this group of people, Allah will put Ar-Rahman, meaning the most loving, caring one, will place for them, implying place for them in the hearts of others intense love. Like Allah will make others love you. And that they won't even know where that love came from. It's not from them, Allah put that in their hearts. They will make dua for you, they will feel a softness towards you. And Allah sometimes does that even in the hearts of enemies of Allah. Allah put a love of Musa in the heart of Fir'aun. So this وَأَلْقَيْتُ عَلَيْكَ مَحَبَّةً مِّنِّي. I cast onto you a special love that comes from me. Meaning anybody who saw you just fell in love with you. Allah here says, سَيَجْعَلُ لَهُمُ الرَّحْمَنُ وُدًّا وَهُمْ خَيْرُ الْبَرِيَّةِ. And these are the best of all creatures. وَأَصْحَابُ الْجَنَّةِ وَطُوبَى لَهُمْ وَحُسْنُ مَآبٍ. And these are the best of all creatures. These are the people of heaven. Congratulations to them, tuba lahum, and the best to them, wa husna ma'ab, and what an amazing place to go back to.